Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 8th grade curriculum night for parents. We are so glad that you could be here with us. Originally, we had planned that this would be an event that we would stream live. However, as technology forces us to adapt every day, we realized very soon that we were not able to stream and connect to YouTube this evening. So we are pre-recording this today, and we are going to send it out to you via a YouTube link so that you can watch it at your leisure. It'll also be in there permanently so that you can go back at any additional time. So first of all, I want to just welcome you to the 2020-2021 school year. I cannot believe that the class of 2025 are 8th graders, and it seems like just yesterday that they were starting middle school as 6th graders, and it happens in a blink of an eye. So we're so excited that they're in 8th grade. This is a year that is full of many, many changes. This is an important year in their academic career as they get ready to enter high school. One of the things that I'm excited about today is to introduce you to their teachers. They have a tremendous group of teachers. This team has worked incredibly hard throughout the summer, as well as getting the school year started and underway. Our focus right now at the beginning of the year is to help students navigate their schedules, help them understand what does it mean to be a remote learner, what does it mean to be a blended learner, what does that look like, and to also build relationships with all of our students because we know how important that is. So today, I hope that you walk away with some important information as you learn about 8th grade, that you feel a little bit more informed about what is happening this school year, and that you feel more connected to what's happening at Reading Middle School. I want to just say one final thing before we start moving forward with our teacher part of the presentation is I hope you will consider being part of our PTO. Our PTO does a tremendous job here at Reading Middle School supporting many of the initiatives that support our students. Everything that the PTO does comes back to our students. So I hope you'll be involved. This year may look different, but we still have our PTO connected to us, and Michelle Vondermeulen is our president of the PTO, and our first meeting will be October 7th, and it'll be a virtual meeting, but we'll be sending out information to parents and families. So I hope you'll look for that and consider being part of it. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to our teachers, and I just want to thank you again for being part of this presentation today.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Cindy Taylor. I am your child's 8th grade science teacher. Just wanting to let you know that we're still here, and we would love to be able to hear from you if you have any concerns. We each have provided our individual phone numbers and emails and websites for you to be able to have access to us at any time. We can't really meet in person right now, but on the next slide, you will see the information that you can email me. And if we need to set up a virtual meeting with you at this time, we certainly can do that. If you have any concerns or any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Hi, I'm James Singleton. I teach American history. I'm going to talk a little bit about Chromebooks. With our 8th graders, of course, they're one-to-one with Chromebooks, and our expectation is that they're bringing their Chromebooks every day, that they're fully charged. We unfortunately do not have access to very many chargers or loaner Chromebooks, so it's really, really important that they're coming to school each day with their Chromebooks and that they're charged up. Each of us has Google Classrooms that we're utilizing for assignments. So that students should expect to find all of their work on Google Classroom each day. Many of us have class websites as well, which provides additional information for individual classes. We use Google Forms quite a bit for assessments. And this year we have started an 8th grade Launchpad. You see the link on this at the bottom here to that Google site, which we're going to be as a team putting a lot of our information. So that way it kind of gives parents kind of a one place where they can find information for all of our classes. So as far as communication and assignments, once again, we do have class websites which provide information. We're going to be sending out final forms emails as well for important dates and reminders for things. We also plan on starting a bi-weekly newsletter again this year. So when we start sending that out, you should expect to see it every 2 weeks. As far as some of our weekly assignments that our students are going to receive for math, they will be doing Math Excel this year. For English, they will be doing MemBeam again this year for 45 minutes. And then for social studies, they should expect to see one student news daily assignment per week.
Students will be working with their teachers, both in person or online, for 3 hours a day. And for those other 3 hours of the school day, they will be working independently at home. They can access these assignments through Google Classroom, and parents are able to see what needs to be completed each week through the use of the 8th grade Launchpad. Students also have access to a digital planner, which will help them keep track of all of their work. Here is our homework policy for all 8th grade students. If an assignment is turned in 1 day past the due date, it will receive a 50% deduction. And for any student that is absent, they will have 2 days to complete any missing work.
So if you're looking for the official grades, first of all, my name is John McClellan. I am the other math teacher for the 8th grade, first time at the 8th grade level. But if you're looking for the specific grades for your kids in each class, Progress Book is where you're going to want to go. We do have Google Classroom set up and there will be grades there, but if you're looking for the official grades for each assignment, Progress Book is where you're going to want to go. One thing to remind your kids about is to make sure that it's not just enough to mark it as done on Google Classroom, but they have to make sure that they are turning in the assignment. That might mean attaching something to the assignment. It might be going to the specific Google Doc and making sure it's complete. Finally, for the remote learning expectations, we know that all students are going to be tuning in on Wednesdays. They need to have their cameras on. This is something we're going to be harping down on, is making sure that they have their cameras on, that they are in a presentable setting, not just laying in bed, but actually up and ready to work. They should be dressed appropriately. And, you know, in all senses, they should be getting up and getting ready for school. It just, they won't be at school physically. They will just be at school at their desk in front of their computer.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Moster. I teach 8th grade language arts. I'm one of the 2 language arts teachers this year, so I might have your student or they might have Mr. Marquez. We are still this year, despite everything being different and unique, we are still doing PBIS, our positive behavior system, by showing the Blue Devil way. So students are still earning Blue Devil bucks and they are still able to purchase things from our Blue Devil stores. Although that might look a little different, they can't eat in the classrooms, they might be taking treats home with them, but the Blue Devil way is live and active. We are following our matrix and we have been talking about the Blue Devil way. Oh, there it is. In the classroom, during transition, going to the nurse, picking up their lunch, and in the restrooms, we've gone over the expectations of what it looks like to be respectful, responsible, and kind.
Hi, I'm Megan Overbeck, the 8th grade intervention specialist. I'm just going to go over a few of the new safety procedures that we've implemented this year. For the restroom, all of the middle school will be using a Google Form sign-out sheet. This makes sure that we have no more than 4 boys and 4 girls in the restroom at a time in the entire middle school. When entering and exiting the building, we have a few different procedures as well. When entering the building, the students are having their temperatures checked every morning. At dismissal, grade levels are staggering their release times and going through some separate doors. And then in the building, students are following designated traffic patterns in the hallways. This year, we do have the water filling stations available for water bottles, but they cannot use the water fountains.
Hello, everyone. Name's Ed Marquez. I am the other English language arts teacher with Mrs. Moster. So this year, all students can get a free lunch and breakfast as they leave for the school day.
I forgot to introduce myself earlier. My name is Haley Kasisko, and I am one half of the 8th grade math team, or 50%. So over here, you will see what students will be learning this year in 8th grade math. So in algebra, we'll be talking a lot about equations and slope. In geometry, we'll talk about transformations and 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional figures. And in statistics, we will be covering two-way tables and bivariate data. And then here is our grading weights. So test quizzes and projects will make up 60% of your child's quarterly grade. And then classwork will make up the other 40%, and you can see how it's broken down. Math class will look very different this year compared to in years past. So we will be utilizing our class website for students to be able to access assignments as well as tests and quizzes. So in the picture on the top left, here's a picture of what the website looks like, and all students have bookmarked it on their Chromebook for easy access. Students will use the quarter tabs at the top in order to find the week. And so they'll click on the week, and on that week, they'll find all of their assignments that are due by Friday at 5 p.m. for each week. So in this bottom left picture, you can see these were all of the assignments that were due week 1. And students can work on those at their own pace, both here in the classroom as well as at home. And in order to help students stay on pace, they will have a weekly breakdown each week, which is the picture on the right, that gives them a pacing guide for completing their assignments by Friday at 5 p.m.
I am responsible for teaching the algebra class, which is a high school level course. So you can see a breakdown of the topics here on the screen, along with the weights. One thing to point out that advanced classes at the high school level are split into a 70-30. And so therefore we have our tests and checkpoints are going to be worth 70% of their overall grade. And their tests will be broken down into 2 per quarter, 1 at the halfway point and 1 at the end of the quarter.
All right, so for American history this year, we essentially are going to cover the first half of American history. So we start with the early explorers, and we go through the Civil War. Also try to work in a lot of current events, especially during an election year, trying to keep the students as up to date as and as current as possible. So as far as absent work goes, this year is going to be very, very interesting for myself, and then for science, because we only see the kids for half the week. So I see one group Mondays and Tuesdays, and the other group Thursdays and Fridays. So it's going to be really, really important this year for students to make sure they're communicating. I've talked about it quite a bit already this year. So if they miss a day, they definitely need to make sure that they are emailing me or getting on my website. I use Weebly, and I know that for a 7th grade social studies, I know they should be really comfortable using Weebly from 7th grade. But essentially, I put everything that we're going to do each day on my website. So definitely make sure that you have your kids checking my Weebly page if they happen to miss school on a day, because there's going to be long stretches where I'm not actually physically seeing them in class. As far as the way things are going to be weighted this year, in the past we've had several different categories, but the social studies department for the middle school decided to really simplify things a little bit more this year to only 2 categories. 60% of their grades will be assessments or projects, with 40% being classwork and homework. And again, that's just the link to my Weebly page.
For science this year, we'll continue studying earth science, life science, and physical science. The good news is that 7th grade science doesn't really link into 8th grade, so no one should be really concerned with gaps from the COVID quarantine. Kids are making a fresh start with me. Their grades will be calculated differently as well this year. 40% will be assessments. 20% will be labs and projects. Labs may look a little differently this year than what they've looked in the past, but we will still be participating in maybe demonstration lab type projects. And then 40% classwork. And that's everything from the assignments they do at home to assignments they do in class, as well as participating on the remote learning. I do post a weekly agenda each week so that they are aware of what it is they need to do and pace themselves through the week. And please keep in mind that groups that I see on Monday and Tuesday, their assignments will be different and at different times than the groups that I see on Thursday and Friday. There's not a consistency necessarily between the two groups. There's a staggered time on those two.
In language arts this year, we're going to cover all of the 8th grade reading and writing standards through engaging units such as The Outsiders, Edgar Allan Poe, A Christmas Carol, exploring deeper into the Holocaust, and reading dystopian novels. Our grade weights this year are going to be 60% assessment, tests, quizzes, and projects, and 40% classwork and homework. If you are absent, you should look on the Google Classroom where a weekly agenda will be posted. And you can also email a teacher and ask a friend.
I have just provided myself and Luke Kripe's contact information here. I will be working with the blended students, and Luke will be working with any of the remote special education students. Thank you for joining us. Please let us know if you have any questions. We're looking forward to a great school year this year.